Okay, Micheal Cheika has joined the Sydney Roosters as an assistant coach, replacing Justin Holbrook, who has obviously now just been appointed the Newcastle Knights' new head coach, replacing Adam O'Brien. Yes, so that's that time of year where coaching changes abound aplenty. Now, I actually think this is a very good and very smart appointment by the Roosters. It brings a different dynamic to the coaching box with the Roosters. Now, Micheal Cheika is a very experienced coach, and he's well respected by the players that he has coached over the years. He's also got a limited amount of head coaching experience with rugby league. Admittedly, it's with Lebanon at international level, so he's only got a handful, limited sample size there, should I say, in regards to rugby league head coaching. But he's a very experienced coach, and he works well as an educator and as a student. He's always coming up with new ideas and new tactics. And we've seen a lot in recent years, a lot of rugby league coaches going over to rugby union. A lot of them have. And Micheal Cheika has decided to go the other way. I also think he is the first international head coach to coach an international rugby league side and an international rugby union side at the same time. Back in 2022 at the delayed Rugby League World Cup, he was coaching Lebanon, whilst at the same time also coaching Argentina. And that is ridiculous. I don't think any other head coach has coached both codes of rugby at the same time for two international teams. I think that made history. And he's got a good work ethic, clearly. He's also coached Australia. He has coached at 4 World Cups, 3 in union, 1 in league. He is a very, very good coach. He's also coached Leinster, Stade Francais, the Waratahs, and most recently the Leicester Tigers, who he is left to take up this appointment. Now, I do think we have seen over the last, I'm going to say 20 or so years, so many assistant and head coaches going over from league to union in various capacities, be it attack coaches, defence coaches, skills coaches, and even becoming head coaches. And we've also seen dual code players. Obviously, Mark Nwanga has obviously been a star this season for the Roosters, ex-Union player, and ex-Wallaby. And I think that also might have persuaded Micheal Cheika to go over. Now, he's very open to new ideas. He's very forward-thinking. And he's also a great student of the game, but he's also a great educator. One other thing that I think Micheal Cheika might bring to the Roosters is a bit more of a positive culture within the group. Because obviously we're seeing all these negative headlines at the moment, a lot of speculation surrounding Brandon Smith. He was an ex-player at the Roosters, and of course Victor Radley, with that the alleged incidents over that golf trip back earlier in the year. Now, obviously that's an ongoing legal case. There has been certain leaks going around, making the rounds in the mainstream and social media earlier today, as this announcement is breaking. And with what Nick Politis, who is the chairman of the Roosters, said not that long ago about a zero drugs policy and a zero tolerance, I think this is also a good appointment in that regard, into regards to team culture, and also, you know, getting the players to buy in and getting the right players there. It's going to be interesting what kind of dynamic he has with Trent Robinson and how that partnership works, considering that Justin Holbrook, who also had head coaching experience with the Gold Coast Titans, has gone on to take on a new role, which was speculated even well before Adam O'Brien was sacked from the Knights. It changes the dynamic, because you've got an international head coach assisting Trent Robinson, who is a very successful head coach in his own right. And I think this is a stepping stone for Micheal Cheika at some point to become an NRL head coach. That is what has been discussed, is at some point he's considering. There's no smoke without fire. These are rumours and speculation. At some point, Micheal Cheika will become a league head coach. And as I say, we've seen so many rugby league minds, be it in Europe or Australia, going over to Union. Sean Edwards is a prime example of a former rugby league player who's become a rugby union coach, and he's works hard on teams' fitness, discipline, defence, especially with Wales and now latterly France. So Micheal Cheika could bring some of the union style of ball handling, backline moves, thinking outside the box with set plays to league. Union's a more tactical game, and that, could be something he could bring to the table is outside the box thinking. He is one of those coaches who will think outside the box, and he's also got a very good work ethic as well. So Micheal Cheika has joined the Sydney Roosters as an assistant coach. Let's see how he does, and let's see how that partnership with Trent Robinson works. Let's see how they bounce ideas off each other, and how also the players respond to a new voice in that coaching setup next season. Because obviously this year there has been some bad defeats in there for the Roosters. There's also been some really good wins, and they built some momentum. They made the finals against all odds, considering how they started the season. And players like Mark Nawaqanitawase, that is some great scouting on the Roosters' part to basically get him to come over from Union to League, and they've turned him into one of the best outside backs in the game very, very quickly in an attacking sense. Maybe Micheal Cheika can also help on that transition to defence, where he still has some flaws in his game, and because obviously that Union experience with both he as a coach and Mark Nawaqanitawase as a player, maybe they can forge a really good working relationship as well, because as I say, Micheal Cheika is an educator and a student himself of the game. Thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts on this appointment in the comments section below, and I'll have some more content for you all very, very soon.